Today's project is twin balls. I'm going to make two balls at once, twin balls. In this technique, the two balls are like twins. They look very similar, but each has its own character and independence. When they are together, they enhance each other's uniqueness. Using 1.2 kg of sanded Bath stoneware clay on a small throwing bat, which is attached to the wheel with thinly spread clay. Making a cone shape to center the clay and also to equalize the clay's density. When I use a small throwing bat, I need to adjust the pressure direction of my right hand towards the edge of the clay to avoid the attached throwing bat shifting the position. This makes my left hand important. My left hand is constantly pushing the pressed clay back to the main body to prevent a mushroom shape from occurring. To make a cone shape, both edges of my hands press the bottom of the clay, then slowly shift upwards. My right hand's palm edges at the 5 o'clock position and gives pressure diagonally downwards, while my left hand receives all the force to maintain the cone shape. I repeat this process until the cone becomes smooth and elastic. Now I can see the difference. The cone bends like rubber under my right hand, and my left hand doesn't need to work as much. The base is about 12 centimeters in diameter, roughly the size of my 7 fingers. This size can result in a slightly taller outcome. Creating a center hole, my right middle finger starts slightly off-center, then slides towards the core. The second time, I dig the hole further down, then slide my fingertips outwards. I shift the clay on top of the wall and press it back to the main body. My right little finger compresses the clay edge to prevent trapping air. This time I try to leave the bottom thickness at about 1 centimeter, then slide my fingertip along the bottom. The bottom is about 2 centimeters thick. I can go deeper. Compress the bottom with a wooden rib. I can measure the internal size, and this prevents an S-crack from occurring if this part becomes the bottom of the pot. In this project, this part becomes a side later. I straighten up the wall before stretching. This makes the pulling action much easier. I position my right ring finger at the bottom of the wall at the 9 o'clock position. This finger is the center of the pulling action. All other fingers, including the left ones, take position based on this finger. Above the right ring finger, the middle and index fingers are aligned to keep the wall's direction straight up. Both thumbs are interlocked to signal all fingers. Compress the top from 3 directions to ensure a firm edge. This time, I use a wooden rib to stretch and compress the wall simultaneously. Check the thickness of the wall. I can stretch one more time to achieve an even thickness. I want to keep a fairly thick wall for this project, as the balls are intended for restaurant use. The thickness has reached my desired size of 7 mm. Before closing the top, adjust the cylinder shape. To close the top, I create a diamond shape with both hands. Start squeezing a third from the top, then slowly slide my hands up. My right hand pinches the edge from both sides to smooth the gathered clay. My left hand is slightly higher than the right one to create a spiral effect. This time, the gathered clay at the top becomes more visible. I need to apply the right amount of pressure to smooth it. If I apply too much pressure, the clay will stretch and become too thin at this part. I want to keep a thick knob, as this part will be the weakest point. The top is now closed. Adjust the pot shape and clean the surface. Clean the bottom. When I use the string to separate the pot from the bat, this small effort helps guide the string. I need an air vent to release trapped air. Otherwise, the pot will crack during the drying process as the clay shrinks about 12%. I want the pot to dry at the same speed all over, so I'll just cover the top, then I can achieve the desired result. The pot needs to be softer than leather hard, especially the bottom area, which needs to be soft enough to be altered. Set the string in the middle of the vat, then place the pot back in the same position. I adjusted the air vent hole on the same line as the string. Pull the string tight, then cut the pot in half. I could use a knife for this part, but I prefer the result the string gives. Although I try to control the string, it doesn't work 100%, which sometimes leads to a happy accident. I have plenty of clay at the bottom and in the corner to alter the shape. I'm going to work on the sponge to protect the bowl. This part is free form. I pull out the bottom part to make an oval shape. I need to ensure the thickness of the bowl is the same all over. I use a round mallet to shape the curved corners. The sponge absorbs the pressure, allowing the clay to copy the mallet's roundness well. I use a flat mallet to shape the outside and also compress the clay. Tap the bottom to make it flat. Then tap the center from the outside so the ball doesn't rock. To easily stack the balls, I widen the rim with a round container. I can spend more time modifying this ball. The inorganic look starts to transform into an organic, character-filled one. All sharp edges will be compressed for chipping protection. The two balls look similar but have their own character, like twins. This is one of the fun techniques I use. My simple glaze technique involves leaving my finger marks as a personal touch and enhances the overall aesthetic. The contrast between glazed and unglazed parts can create visually striking effects, adding depth and dimension to the pot. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed watching this pottery process. The twin balls technique combines throwing and hand building methods, with the hand built part being particularly meditative. Please leave your comments. They serve as motivation for my next video. Happy creating, and I look forward to seeing you in the next pottery video.